All right, so today we're going to talk about splatting. Do you guys know what PowerShell splatting is? I'll take that as a
No.
no. Cool. So what we're going to do here is we're going to take a look at this help function, right? So the way I've been doing this, let me get we'll just use this top one as an example. So what I've been doing is you say something like right host, right? And then at the end, you pass in the foreground color, right? And we'll say yellow, and then we'll say background color, right? Like that, and any of the other flags you want to, right? And I'll just go ahead and say black. So you can do this, but it's better to do what we call splatting, which is putting all of these parameters into a hash table and then passing that hash table in instead. And all the major commands support splatting. I mean, everybody's doing it. It's all the rage. So I'm gonna, no, not you. I just messed something up. Control Z. That'll do it, yeah. I want to get here, put a space, and you're gonna kill me. I'll just say at def text. Def text. There we go, finally. Okay, so I've got this at def text here, and that is my splatted hash table, regardless of what it looks like when I try to type it. So I've got a format.ps1 that I've dot sourced in here, and if we come into my thing here, I've got all of this commented quite well, including some top level comments up here in the header. So I've got class header right here. As it turns out, I didn't change that one. So I've got class header, and I've got foreground color equals dark red, no new line equals false, which means basically not having it at all. But I put it in there for all of them anyway, because that way it's really explicit, right? Because some of them we do need it for, and some of them we don't. So I just put it in there so that you can toggle that if you want to. So you notice how the variable that holds this hash table is called class header, and it's a variable right there, right? It's a variable. But you notice that, here, let me go ahead and change this, that when I put this in here, it should be there, that it is now a hash table. Hold on one sec. Okay, so you have to pass in a hash table, and the way this works, I think, I've never bothered like really figuring out why it is, but I think the way it is this is one of those few times when you pass in the variable name and not the variable itself. Do you understand? So kind of like when you do something like, and this is going to be pseudocode, but kind of like when you do something like file, and then you say the error variable, right? And then you just say something like my error, right? You don't really give it the variable as much as you give it the variable name, and PowerShell creates the variable for you. So you wouldn't say this. That's wrong. You just give it the name. So I think this is one of those cases where you just pass in the variable name, but as long as it's the same name as the hash table that you've created, then you're golden. Are we good on that?
Yep.
Okay. And actually, I did make a mistake. So I've got one for each of these. So I've got, dark red, and I And what I did here was I tried to comment it in a way that lets you know which section it is, right? So like it says at the top up here, and you can see there are comments in there, that the affected section is surrounded by bangs. So here I've got return type. So that's going to be the return type of the method. So this is going to affect this right here. And this is the method header, and there are my bangs, so it's going to affect that. Method title, and if I give you the method title. So if I give you, so by giving it the bangs, it's going to take this section right here. And it should be section title. Yeah, section title. Parameter name is going to be the name of any parameters that get passed in. So in a line of text in the help, this is what's going to be affected. Do you get that?
Yes.
Cool. So here is what my final help looks like so far. And I love the blue headers. Everything is in different colors, like, you know, this parameter is colored the same as the parameter definition. And I can easily tell the return types, the methods. I don't have any properties, but they'll follow the same color scheme, right? The parameters will be green, and the properties will be white, and the data types of the properties will probably be green too, but I don't know, we can change that if we want to. So with all of these guys being assigned inside here to their splatted counterparts, to their splatted properties, now if we want to change any of these colors, all we have to do is come in here. And we can completely redo the help any way we want to now with any colors, and you know, you can keep your own file on your own desktop. If you don't like the way I did it, then you can keep your own and have your own colors if you want to. But that's splatting. Very useful for, you know, keeping all of your parameters together and keeping everything in one place and keep it from running off the screen, right? So, you know, kind of like when we're doing format table, when we're adding expressions to format tables, right? And you remember how when we did that, we used to, not used to, but we still do, how we do it like A equals, and then we'll say these guys, right? And then we'll say label equals something or other, right? And we could have a whole list of those guys in there, so we could have a whole bunch of stuff. And then in the format table itself, we say format table at A instead of having to put all of the expression in there, right? And that way you've only got one place to change your expression. Well, this is the same thing. Yeah, I'm still here. So here, if I've got a lot of parameters that I want to pass in, I could put them all in a hash table like this and keep them all in one place, and then just pass in the splat instead. So it's a really good way to organize your code and to keep it down, right? You could even put all of the splats for all of your commands in an include file so they don't muddy up your script. And that way, if you want to go change a parameter, then you just, you know, open up your include file and change a parameter or two, and then go on about your business. Any questions?
No, but this is awesome. Easy to do with the color coding as well.
Yeah, right. And I'm going to stop the recording now.